Staff Sergeant Phillips B. Casey of the United States Army heroically distinguished himself by exceptionally valorous conduct in the face of the enemy as a squad leader in 1st Platoon, Headquarters and Headquarters Battery, 1st of the 320th Field Artillery Regiment, U.S. Forces, South Kandahar, Afghanistan on 9 March 2011 during Operation Enduring Freedom. On March the 9th, 2011, while conducting a dismounted combat patrol along the banks of the Arghandab River, south of the village Takia, Staff Sergeant Phillips B. Casey knelt on and initiated a pressure plate improvised explosive device. The initial blast sent Staff Sergeant Casey airborne, landing on his back approximately 5 feet from the blast center. The soldiers to the front and rear of Staff Sergeant Casey's position were also knocked to the ground by the force of the blast. Once the smoke and dust had settled, Staff Sergeant Casey immediately assessed his own injury while instructing his soldiers, who were scattered around him, to freeze in place for fear of secondary explosives. Staff Sergeant Casey maneuvered his squad to clear the area for secondary devices while trying to tend to his own wound. During the clearance, he was also directing the positioning of local security and giving them fills of fire. He then informed the platoon's medic that he was a single-leg amputee and that he needed immediate medical attention. He continued to direct his squad even as he and the platoon's medic conducted aid. He then directed his squad to assist with the area security in order to facilitate his own medevac, while simultaneously keeping track of the time that had elapsed since the blast to ensure his own safety. He then instructed the platoon leader and members of his squad remaining at the site as to what special instructions he was carrying to ensure the accountability could be maintained before the element exfiltrated back to Strong Point Weaver. Staff Sergeant Phillips B. Casey's bravery, selflessness, and courage under fire, in keeping with the finest traditions of military heroism, and reflect distinct credit upon himself, Headquarters and Headquarters Battery, 1st of the 320th Field Artillery Regiment, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 101st Airborne Division Air Assault, and the United States Army. And I would only add, to the full credit and honoring of the United States of America. Let's give the Casey family our thanks today. God bless you. God bless you.
All the veterans, would you come this way, please? We'd like the Barton family to know that we in Adairsville, Bartow County, state of Georgia, United States of America, are grateful for such a courageous man. It's good to have his mama here and his sister here. And we want to pray for God to strengthen him and to give him courage and for God to minister to him. We're going to pray for all the veterans that find themselves in combat right now. What a very difficult time it is. And I want you veterans to help me pray, because I know you know what it is. And I want you to pray. We're going to pray especially. This young man was a staff sergeant, been in the military a number of years. It wasn't E1 or E2, he was a leader among men. And we're anticipating him to continue to be a leader among men, especially in Adairsville, and make a difference in our community. Would you pray with me, please? Dear my Father, we come to you today in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for this man. Not just an ordinary man, an extraordinary man. His family influenced him in such a way. He had courage and boldness under fire. And even when injured himself, his concern was for his men. What a leader. Lord, we ask and pray, God, that you'll cause his recovery to be rapid. God, we pray, Lord, that you'll minister to his physical needs. God, we pray, Lord, that you'll encourage him every day, all the obstacles that he faces. But Lord, I pray today in the name of the Lord that you'll touch Staff Sergeant Philip Barton Casey in a supernatural way. And Lord, as the veterans stand around this place that we've gathered in, I pray, God, that you'll remember every soldier who finds themselves in combat throughout the United States of America, throughout the world, that are serving the United States of America. God, I ask and pray, Lord, that you'll touch these veterans that are here. Lord, I pray today in the name of Jesus Christ, that you'll minister to veterans. I pray, God, that you'll touch them, keep them safe, and you'll work in their life. Lord, we stop and pause for a moment to thank you, Lord, for families throughout America, just like the Barton family, who invested patriotism in their children, who caused their children to understand that this is a great nation. I thank you, Lord, for the supporting staff of every soldier. And I thank you, Lord, for everybody that's here. I ask and pray, Lord, that you'll bless and touch. In your most holy name we pray. Amen. Amen. Semper Fi.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, thus be it ever when freemen shall stand between their loved home and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace. May the heaven-rescued land praise the power that hath made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must when our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home